Hey home cooks, welcome to another episode of Gregcipes. I'm Greg and I'm going to be sharing with you a recipe. Today we're going to be making some steak milanesa. So milanesa is a dish that was brought to South America by the Italians, who have another dish called milanese, which is a dish that's very similar to a German dish that you might know called wiener schnitzel. And it's all just thinly sliced, pounded, breaded, fried meat. And you really can't go wrong with fried meat, am I right? The only real difference between the South American version and other versions is that they do a little bit more with the seasonings, which I'll try to replicate here. And a lot of times they'll top it with like cheese or ham or anything like that. I'm not going to go too crazy. I'm just going to show you the basics. So the ingredients for milanesa are pretty simple. First thing I have here is my steak, and this is just thinly cut sirloin steak that I got from the grocery store in a package that had written on it for milanesa. So I know this will be good. But you can use something like flap steak or even chicken or pork. As long as it's thin, you need it to be thin. The next thing I have here is my ingredients for my dredging station. I have flour, which I'm going to season with salt, pepper, and a little bit of cayenne pepper. I have a couple eggs, which I'm going to grate a little bit of garlic into them. Excuse me. And the last thing I have is breadcrumbs, which I'm going to season with a little bit of Italian seasoning, which is just oregano, marjoram, thyme, rosemary, and sage. And I don't think that's very traditional for milanesa, but I really like that stuff, so I'm going to use it. And the last thing I have here is a lime, which I'm going to use at the very end. Alright, so now I gotta finish prepping my dredging station, so I'm just going to season my flour with a little salt, a little pepper, freshly cracked, and a little bit of cayenne for a little kick. Just mix this all together. Make sure it's evenly distributed. Alright. Next thing I needed is my eggs. So hopefully no shells this time. See that? I did it one-handed. And I got a shell in there, oh my god. So now I'm going to grate that garlic I told you about right into the eggs. So I have like 4 cloves here, but you can use however much garlic you like. You could use a garlic press, but I like using the microplane because it makes me feel like a chef. Oh no! Another fork, and just beat this all together. Last thing is to season our breadcrumbs. So we're going to take the bigger steak first and dip it into our seasoned flour. Both sides, make sure it's completely coated. You want it to be completely coated, but you don't want a whole bunch of excess flour on there, so just like shake off any excess. This is to get the eggs to stick to the meat. And the eggs are to get the breadcrumbs to stick to the meat. So we're going to dip this into the eggs. The eggs will stick to the flour with the garlic. And it's delicious. And then the breadcrumbs stick to the egg. my hands are filthy, but I'm going to do another one. So the way you want to cook this is a shallow fry. So I have this large saute pan here that I'm just going to fill a couple, like an inch deep, with just regular vegetable oil. It's probably less than an inch. You don't need an inch. I misspoke. And then you just want to heat it up. Kind of a medium-high heat. So after a couple minutes, the way you test if your oil is ready is you want to drop in one of your breadcrumbs, and it should immediately float up and have bubbles coming off of it if the oil is hot enough. So let's drop in a couple. And it looks like they're doing just that. So we can go ahead and put our steaks in. So first steak in, and always lay it away from you. And I think we have enough room for our other steak. Yeah, plenty of room. So you just want to let that get golden brown on one side, flip it over, and repeat the process. It'll cook pretty quickly because the steak is so thin. So you just want to take your tongs and check the bottom. It's not golden brown yet, don't flip it over. So we started to get a nice golden brown color, and you can actually kind of see that the steak is almost all the way cooked because it's so thin. So we're going to go ahead and flip it over and get the other side nice and crispy. And if you see any like blonde spots, just take a ladle and take some of the oil and pour it over. It won't take much longer to finish cooking this steak. So the steak is just about done, so I'm going to go ahead and take it out and put it onto a paper towel lined plate to drain off some of the excess oil. So let's just take it out. Put it on the plate. So I'm going to just throw a little bit of salt on it now that it's just come out of the fryer. And then squeeze a little bit of lime on each of them. And there you have it, steak Milanesa. So let's take a bite. That's good. Well, I hope you make it for yourself and enjoy. And if you enjoyed this video, remember to subscribe for new Gregcipes every Tuesday. Hey home cooks, welcome to another, I don't know why I can't say another. Hey home cooks, welcome to, do what? Steak Milanesa.